welcome back to Discworld Noir, where I made some progress last time, but not as much as I would have liked. However, there's still some things I can try, which I don't think I've done yet. So first of all, I would like to go back to the von Uberwelt mansion.
Who would Sir like to see this time?
Let's try the library.
I'd like to use the library again. Very well. I will show Sir the way, since it seems the labyrinthine corridors of this vast edifice are beyond Sir's meager navigational skills.
I can't find my own way, you know. If there's anything about the other killings in here. Wizard's murder? Anything about wizard murders in here?
I didn't really know how to look that up in the library.
Okay, Luton. How about the Cantweight killings? Is there anything you can do about that?
I didn't really know how to look that up in the library.
Okay, just for a laugh, can I change into wolf?
Although I appeared to be alone, I found it hard to believe I wasn't being watched. I wouldn't trust me with all those valuable books, and the butler certainly didn't.
Okay,
Who would Sir like to see this time?
see if Carlotta's home.
I'd like to see Carlotta. Is she home?
I will go and check.
Oh, I tell you what, while I've got the place to myself...
While the butler
there we
was
go.
gone, I slipped into my wolf form. A purple scent stretched across the hallway, and I instantly knew it was Carlotta. But that wasn't all. The richness of her odor told me something else. Carlotta was a werewolf, just like me.
So she really did bite then.
It seems that Carlotta
I've got a
is
new
not
clue.
in her room.
Take a message. Tell her to meet me at the Café Ankh later tonight.
As Sir wishes.
If Carlotta was the werewolf who infected me, I wanted to speak to her as soon as possible. Sheesh! You'd think a guy could take one kiss and wake up the same shape next day, wouldn't you?
Okay, let's go to the Cafe Ankh, see if she's there. What was this new clue I picked up? Notebook. Carlotta is a werewolf.
When I smelled Carlotta's scent in the von Uberwald mansion, I knew she was a werewolf.
Okay, let's see what she's got to say. There she
You
is.
wanted to see me.
I tried to reach you at the mansion, but you're never around when I need you.
You never need me when I'm around.
A funny thing happened to me the other day.
You arranged all this just to tell me an anecdote?
It's a funny little story. I think you'll like it.
He's
I'm
leading up to
listening.
it.
The other night, someone stuck a sword through my ribs.
Ah, it must have been someone who knew you well.
The thing is, not long afterwards, I was in my coffin thinking about it when I realized I wasn't dead.
That was lucky.
Luck was not a factor. Why did you do it, Carlotta?
Do what?
Make me a werewolf.
If I hadn't, you'd be dead. Would you prefer that?
That's not the point, and you know it. You did something to me that was going to change who I was for the rest of my life, and you didn't even tell me.
I didn't think you'd understand. Besides, it wasn't as if I planned it.
Are you telling me you turned me into a werewolf by accident?
How long have you been a werewolf now?
Not long.
Have you felt what it's like? That force that pulls on you, that draws your attention to every jugular, pulsing with life? The irrepressible
dear.
call of fresh blood? A sudden attention to the phases of the moon?
I have to fight to keep control.
We all do. Coming to a city of 1 million people, it's like a starving monkey wandering into a banana plantation. You learn to live with it.
And you decided to infect me with lycanthropy?
Infect is such a negative word. I prefer blessed.
You think this is a gift?
Of course it's a gift. It's the greatest gift I could give to someone. And I chose you.
Why?
You're a smart man, Luton. Figure it out.
Okay. So let's ask her about
So,
this.
how many people have you killed?
I'm not that kind of a werewolf.
I suspected you were a killer even when you were just a woman. Now I'm certain of it.
I was never just a woman.
You expect me to believe you've never killed anyone?
I have a lot of self-control.
It didn't seem that way when we kissed.
Don't mistake passion for a lack of self-control.
Do all werewolves see the world the same?
Everyone sees the world differently, Luton. That's what life is all about.
I meant the colors. Do you see the same colors I do?
What color is the smell of the River Ankh to you?
A kind of cacophonous bright green.
I guess we do then.
Whoever killed me had a distinctive magenta scent. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Doesn't ring any bells.
There was something else about it, like a kind of fluorescent sparkle.
Like a greenish yellow-purple?
That's the one.
That's
Octarine.
octarine.
Colour of magic.
Octarine? Sounds like a type of fruit.
It's the 8th color of the spectrum.
8th?
The basic color of which other colors are merely pale
Why are you
shadows
telling him about the colour
impinging
of
on
magic?
conventional reality. The color of magic.
Conventional reality?
Or what passes for conventional on the Discworld.
What's that supposed to mean?
If I always knew what I meant, I'd be a genius.
So what smells of octarine?
Anything magical.
Then how come I've never seen it before? There must be 100 magical things in the city. Unseen University should glow like a sparkler.
Mortals can't see it, only wizards. Although we can smell it, of course.
That doesn't explain why Unseen University doesn't reek of it.
Well, it fades quickly in sunlight, and in extreme cases, walks away.
Well, while I've got you here... Reagan's murder.
Reagan's dead.
I'm not surprised.
You don't seem to care.
Everybody dies, Luton. Mundy, Reagan, even you.
What's your
Not yet, though.
point?
I'm a
No
werewolf.
point. That's just life.
Where were you when Reagan was killed?
When was he killed?
Shortly after dropping you off at the Temple of Small Gods.
Well, there's your answer then.
Okay, Monday.
The person who killed Mundy hung him upside down and poked his eyes out. Can you think of any reason they might have done that?
What? No. Why should I?
Well, you knew Mundy. I didn't. I thought you might have an insight on it that I didn't.
Did you kill Monday?
Did you kill Mundy?
What? What do you think I am, Luton?
It's got nothing to do with what I think of you, Carlotta. But the Watch are investigating, and if they find out about your connection with Mundy, you're bound to be a suspect.
So why are you asking me if I did it?
Let's just call it professional curiosity.
If I had done it, would you turn me in?
That depends.
On what?
On why you did
I'm
it.
sure we've had
You
this
don't
conversation
strike
before,
me as a
but I'm
moralist,
definitely
Luton.
running through it
I'm
still.
a simple man, Carlotta. I have simple
Just wanna see if
ideas
there's
of
anything
what's
new that
right
comes up.
and what's wrong. The trouble is, things are seldom that simple. It's always somewhere in the middle ground. I try not to jump to conclusions. In my line of work, that can get you killed.
That must be a tremendous incentive to think everything through.
I do my best. You still haven't answered my question.
I didn't kill him, Luton, if that's what you really want to know.
Do you have an alibi? I told her when the murder took place and asked her if she had an alibi. I wasn't surprised when she did. Frankly, I reckon I could have said any day and any time, and she'd have had an alibi. She was that kind of woman.
There are witnesses who can corroborate where I was.
And where were you?
I was
At
in
the
the
Temple of the Small
Gods.
Gods.
Spend a lot of time on your knees, do you,
Yeah, we've
sister?
had this
We
conversation
all need a
before.
little absolution.
For your sins?
Everything I do is a sin in someone's eyes.
Okay, let's go back. Ask you about the other murder.
I told Carlotta when Malachite was murdered, and asked her where she was at the time.
Let me
I was
guess.
at a service
Temple of the Small
then. Why
Gods.
do you ask?
A service?
I happen to enjoy services.
I bet I would, too. Why don't you invite me to one?
I wouldn't be allowed to bring an unbeliever.
How do you know I'm an unbeliever?
I doubt you believe in anything.
A man can change. Don't you have a recruitment policy?
I'd rather not talk about religion. It's such a controversial subject.
Alibi.
I can't help but notice that your recurring alibi for the murders is that you were at the Temple of Small Gods.
Everyone needs a little solace now and then.
You seem to need it a lot.
I'm not easily satisfied.
Which god is it that you worship?
I really don't like to discuss religion.
Come on. I only want to know the name.
All right. Her name is Errata, but I don't
that sounds
appreciate
familiar.
you prying into my spiritual
across that
affairs
name
like
before.
this.
Can I
Many
pry
times.
into your physical affairs?
My affairs are never just physical.
I bet you say that to all the boys.
Yay, new clue. Let's see what the new clue is. The new clue is Errata.
Tell me about this goddess, Errata.
I already told you, I don't like to talk about religion.
She's not like then. He's the god of Omnia.
Is that the place with the Quisition? All
That's
the
the one.
overzealous holy wars and tortures?
Yeah,
It
that's a long
used to
time
be.
ago.
They had some kind of reformation, and now they're just overzealous about singing
Brother.
rousing
That was his
hymns
name,
and
Brother.
distributing fundamentalist
Small
pamphlets
gods.
in the street.
Well, that's a kind of torture all of its own.
You're telling me. I got cornered by one of them last week. How do you think I know so much about it? It was 3 hours before I could get them to leave. Thumb screws would have been quicker, at least.
Thank you. I think I've
Where
got
can I
enough
find you?
information there.
I'll be around.
That's not very helpful.
What can I say? I go where I want to, with anybody I want. I just happen to be that kind of girl.
This isn't over, Carlotta.
I hope not. We don't have to be enemies, Luton.
We'll never be friends.
Let's not fight, Luton. We can work together, recover the sword together.
I don't know who you are anymore.
I'm the same girl I ever was, Luton. It's you that's changed.
You're
Ooh.
telling me.
You know, Luton, you don't have to work with me. You don't have to say anything, and you don't have to do anything. Not a thing. Oh, maybe just howl. You know how to howl, don't you, Luton? You just pull your jaws apart and blow.
After Carlotta had left, I sat alone in the cafe, thinking about my problems. As bad as it seemed, my life was still better than it was a few years ago. Back then, I would have sat alone in the cafe, drinking through my problems.
Okay, so we've got a new clue. Errata. And who do we know who's big on Errata? Hello, Malaclips.
I need your help again, Malaclips.
They'll all need my help sooner or later. They just don't know it yet.
Errata.
Carlotta says she's a follower of Errata. Is that right?
Bah! I am the only true follower of Errata in the whole of Ankh-Morpork. Unless you have seen the light, Luton.
Seen the light?
Do you believe in the ways of Errata?
How could I not? Surely, Errata is the most worthy of all gods to follow.
Either you've just had a miraculous conversion or you're learning to lie. Good. A useful skill in followers of Errata.
Okay, so...
I'll have to go. The truth is out there.
Trust no one.
So rather unsurprisingly, Carlotta was lying to me. I don't think I can get her on it yet, though. Let's see what this guy has to say.
I have some more questions. Ask them, if you must.
Errata?
Can you tell me anything about Errata?
Bah! Malaclips's deranged goddess. I do not waste my time with such trivialities.
Guess not.
Well, I'll be on my way.
I'll be here should you choose to repent.
I wonder if there's anything in the library about Errata. Let's head over there.
Who would say?
No,
I'll be going then.
Delighted to hear it, sir.
I'll make my own way to the library this time. Weird that he does that. Here we are. Errata. Do you know anything about Errata library?
The only literature I could find on Errata in the library was a leaflet published by Malaclips, who gave
okay.
his permanent address as the only really holy corner of the Temple of Small Gods.
I guess not then. Let's go down and ask the Count about Carlotta being
Still
a werewolf.
here, I see.
In a sense.
Death! Carlotta is
It
a werewolf.
seems a woman that I've been involved with is a werewolf.
Indeed.
Her name's Carlotta. She's the mistress of the house, I guess.
Carlotta. Yes, of course she is. Couldn't be part of the Von Uberwalds if she wasn't, You'd be a werewolf too if you married her.
The Von
Bit late for that.
Uberwalds are all werewolves.
Really? How do you know that?
How do I know that, eh? How could I not know that? I was married myself, you know. Do you remember my wife?
I
Yes.
No.
Before your time,
No one was before my time.
Anything else I can ask you about? I can try asking you about Errata. Oh, sorry, I was there.
Have you heard of the goddess Errata?
A goddess? Yes. Yes, she was. I always liked your mother. That's why I married her, I suppose.
I think he's gone.
Is he...
Dead? No. You'll know when he dies.
How?
I will swing my scythe.
Do you have to do that?
No. But when I appear in person, I am required to separate the soul from its body.
Why?
It has symbolic value.
Do you know Errata?
The goddess of misunderstandings. Yes.
What's she like?
Chaotic and confusing. But she has a certain sense of justice, I think.
Justice?
All the gods are sentimentalists at heart. Of course, I never let that sort of thing get in my way.
I bet. Well, you do later on, I think. Later books. Thank you for
Well,
that.
goodbye. I'm sure we'll meet again.
Oh, you can be certain of it.
Okay, I think I've exhausted this line of inquiry. Let's go back to the office. I still need to find out about some of these other things in here. Let's have a look at what we've got. More murders. I still need to find out about these two. That one's blocked off. I have an idea of how to get the gatekeeper to speak. But I need to do something else first. Maybe try and find out about this one. Ask people about this. Yeah, we'll try that, see how far we get with it.